Sit bones up against the bolster. Allow the spine to relax back. If you need to, place the blanket underneath your head and let the arms open up wide. Palms are going to face up. And then let your spine really settle into the mat. So feel the support there, relax into it, breathe deeply, and just begin to let go. Have the soles of the feet together with the knees out wide, so you're releasing the hips here as well. If it's too intense to have the knees just hanging in the air, you're welcome to put a block under each side of the knee, or you can wrap a blanket underneath them, whatever is going to feel most comfortable to you. You want to allow the body to fully relax here. So as you settle in, first feel the physical body growing heavy. The skin starts to relax. The muscles release any holding patterns, maybe areas of chronic tension. You even begin to feel the bones settle. And as the body becomes fully supported here by this prop, turn your attention now to the breath. And just watch the rise and fall of the belly. Just that easy breathing. And as you watch the rise and fall of the belly, notice the quality of the breath. So really take in, is the breath smooth? Is it jumpy? Does it feel like the inhale flows right into the exhale, that flows right into the inhale? Or are there some catches or hiccups to the breath? Does it feel easy to relax the belly and let it expand wide on inhalation? Does it feel easy to let the belly button fall back to the spine on exhalation? Can the body settle more deeply? Just exploring this experience. And what we'd like to work to is having a very smooth and even breath. Something that causes the mind to feel a sense of stability and balance. So as the body's relaxing even more deeply, start to bring the breath in now through the nostrils. Fill the chest first, then the rib cage, then the belly, and then exhale the belly back towards the spine. Rib cage closer together and chest softens, but because you have the bolster underneath you, you might not feel that quite as much. But again, it's that pattern of breath, inhaling chest, ribs, belly, and exhaling belly, then ribs, then chest. And again, try to smooth this breath out, make it as even as possible. And one of the techniques that helps me to bring my mind greater into focus is the Ujjayi breath. So the Ujjayi breath is that soft ocean wave or whisper type sound. And just hear that soft hum as you breathe in. Sounds almost like you're fogging up a mirror, a soft sound as you breathe out. And this Ujjayi sound will also tell you if there's an area where you're holding or gripping, because the consistency will change. So it has many benefits to our practice. In the yogic teachings, they say that there are 72,000 nadis. So 72,000 channels for energy to move from our body and throughout our body. And they say that they originate in the heart. And so today's practice, we're going to be working with bringing more energy into the heart center. And if you can even imagine in your mind's eye what that would look like if all these tubes filled with energy, these tiny, thin tubes were extending out from the heart, 72,000 of them. It's almost too much for our minds to even fathom. And we can understand that sometimes when we have areas that are troublesome in the body, areas of chronic contraction or injury, that we almost can feel that there's a disruption in the flow into those areas of the body. This is especially important when we begin to analyze the health of our internal organs. So we're going to be working with some pranayama in our practice today, working on opening up the heart center so that we have as much free flow of information as possible outward through the body. And at the end of the practice, I'd like to do 61 points today. And this is a specific technique intended to bring energy through the entire system. So to balance that flow. So let's take 3 more breaths in this position and really make sure now that your inhale is completely matching your exhale. So not only is the breath even, but you're continuing to have a smooth quality to it. So you're reducing any of those inconsistencies. And when you finish that 3rd breath, just bring your attention directly into the heart center itself. And here you can begin to visualize a pearl of light. So see the intensity and brightness of this pearl of light in the very center of your heart. Recognizing it as the motherboard, the area with which all these channels extend out. And then bring your hands to your heart and let your thumbs touch that location. Draw your chin into your chest. And with your head bowed to your hands, or at least it feels like your head is bowed to your hands, we'll set the intention to work in this heart space today. And this is the area where we tend to feel very deeply our emotions. And so notice if there's anything right now that's been calling to you. You know, the lungs are right next to the heart, and the lungs are the area of grief. And a lot of people are grieving right now. So maybe that's something that you're feeling close to the heart. Maybe you're feeling gratitude carried over from Thanksgiving or a time with family. Maybe you're just feeling that connection to whatever it is inside of you that glows, that animates you, that causes you to walk through the world as a bright light. But whatever it is, take a moment to set your intention to cultivate the light in the heart today, to grow it, so that that light can subsume any fear, any doubt, any worry. And then place that in your heart center, surrounding it with unconditional love. I'm bringing your hands to the outside edges of your knees. You're going to just gently draw the knees towards the center. Take a moment to adjust from that. And then we're going to roll over to the right side. And we've been on that bolster or that pillow for a little while. So just rest here for a moment, arm under the head, left arm on top of the thigh, and just breathe. Being gentle with the spine, letting it naturally adjust back to a neutral position. And then we'll use the arm that was on the thigh to just push the bolster or the blanket out of the way. And we're going to roll right back onto our backs. So arms down by your side. See if you can lightly touch your heels with your fingertips, keeping your knees bent and your feet flat. We're going to start with some dynamic bridge. So pressing into the feet, keep the arms by the side and just roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time. Coming all the way up as high as you can. And then slowly hug the navel towards the spine as you peel the spine back down into the earth. And do that again. Keeping the feet flat, keeping the hands down. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Absorbing the tailbone in. Moving all the way up towards the back of the heart. And then exhale and slowly roll down. Navel in as you come down. Good. Now we're going to bring in a chant, and the chant is so hum, and it means I am that. So inhale, we're going to roll up through the spine. And as we come down, we're going to chant so hum. So hum. Good. Inhale up again. Make sure the knees are not splaying apart as you roll up. So hum. Roll up again. So hum. Now bring both arms up at the same time as the spine lifts off the earth, inhaling. And again, we're going to come down with the chant. So hum. Inhale again. Arms move at the same rate as the spine. So hum. Two more, and as you're chanting, really feel that vibration in the very center of your heart, the meaning, I am. So hum. One more. So hum. And then rest and let the knees fall into one another for just a moment. Place one hand on the heart and one hand on the navel center, so you're really connecting these two together. And take one more full breath here. Very nice. So rolling over onto your right side again. Left hand into the earth. Slowly come back up into seated. And we'll just come into a cross-legged position for Sukhasana. Move the flesh from the sit bones, sit tall, and bring the arms down by your side. Right fingertips are going to reach into the earth. Inhale the left arm up. And walk the hand out, so rolling over to that right side. Press the left sit bone away from the fingertips. Now you can keep the hand grounded, or you can go all the way to the forearm, but breathe into the opening of the side body. Make sure that left hip stays connected to the earth, and see if you can reach the fingertips just a little longer. So again, envision in your mind the nadi system, that 72,000 channels extending out from the heart. And each and every breath is like a pump, just like the heart itself. Feel the breath pumping that prana through those hollow stalks or tubes. Keep feeling the body release so the fascia begins to unwind, the muscles begin to soften. The longer you say, the more space you begin to find. Now lifting up with the left arm, you're going to slowly come back up and take your time with that and just feel those fingertips on the floor sit tall, fingers in a finger stand, and just notice the difference between the right side and the left. So if you feel a little imbalance, that's pretty normal, and we'll keep the left fingertips down and inhale the right arm up. Elongate that right side body, and now again we're going to float over. So if you wanted to stay on the hand, press the hip away from the fingertips, and just stretch through the side body. Notice the space between the rib bones. Breathe into it. Free up those lungs, and particularly if they've been holding on to some things. There's a lot of reflection going on right now, and it's already the holiday season, so that has its own elements of reflection that come in. So get some prana into that region, and if you've got the flexibility, then just bring the left forearm to the floor. Make sure that right hip stays grounded. Envision those muscles gently opening, allowing more blood flow, more prana to move through them. A couple more breaths here. Again, just watching those layers as they release. Last two. And then lifting that right arm back up in the air, you're going to press down and slowly come back up. And take your time again, fingers in a finger stand out to the sides, and just feel that elongated spine. So press into the earth through the sit bones, lift through the crown of the head, create that inner body lift. So fingers are going to point towards the hips, and as they press down, you're going to reach into the knees, and now lift the hips off the earth, pressing into the heels of the hands. And breathe here, and just feel the whole back body strong and stable, front body open and spacious. And then in the center of the heart, see that bead of light, that pearl of light just expanding outward into all of those different channels. Clearing the pathway. The breath helps to push that through. Two more. And then slowly lower the hips back towards the floor, roll off the fingertips, and come back into that tall spine again, and just observe. We'll make our way into tabletop position. Pressing into the hands, the knees, and feet. We're going to do some undulations just for a few rounds with the chant again. So inhaling, heart lift, sit bones lift. Now exhale to child's pose, so navel to the spine, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, slight bend in the elbows as you go down to widen the upper back. Good. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift. And now we'll bring in that chant of so hum as we exhale. Navel back. So hum. Good. Two more. Feel the light expanding on inhalation. So hum. Inhale. So hum. Then come back up into tabletop position, and this time we're going to reach the left arm up in the air, rotate the navel slightly to the left, and then bring that arm through the hole, rolling onto the shoulder for thread the needle. Right hand is going to be at a 90-degree angle. You're going to push the floor away from you to help tuck the shoulder blade underneath just a little bit more. Now, as you push into the floor, see if you can get a little more space, but relax your cheek towards the mat, softening the neck. Feel even pressure in the knees and the tops of the feet, so you're not leaning to one side over the other. And just breathe here. Again, noticing the center of the heart and how everything extends outward. And if you'd like, on your next breath, you can bring that right arm up in the air. This might be enough for you, but if you'd like, you can rotate the hand like you're turning a doorknob, take it behind the back and set it on top of the sacrum, or maybe tuck the hand to the thigh, grab the shirt, and bind that right shoulder open just a little bit more. So you're squeezing the shoulder blade in towards the spine, creating just a little more lift, a little more room there. Each time you exhale, navel hugs the spine. And then bring that right arm back up in the air. Slowly release back into tabletop position and take your time. Feel the body adjusting to that. Be gentle. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side now. So right arm is going to rotate up in the air for just a moment, and then we're going to thread that through the hole, rolling onto the right shoulder this time. Left arm at a 90-degree angle, push the floor away from you. Feel that, tuck the shoulder blade underneath the back body just a little bit more. And then relax your cheeks, so softening the neck, no strain in the face. Each time you exhale, pull the belly button back towards the spine. Are you encountering any areas that feel clogged or stuck? Can you feel those perhaps in the back of the heart or the shoulder blades, maybe somewhere in the twist? Send the breath into them, let it heal. And if you want, you can take the left arm up in the air, and that might be enough for you. You might want to just stay there if that gives you the best stretch. Or you can turn the hand like you're turning a doorknob, take it behind your back, and bind by grabbing your shirt or your thigh. Pull that left shoulder open just a little bit more. Last 2 breaths here. And then lift the left arm back up in the air, slowly unwind, come back into tabletop position. And again, just feel for a moment the stability. And then sit back tall on your heels. Hands can rest comfortably in your lap. And observe. Bring your attention right into the center of the heart. Once again, see that pearl of light. Good. Inhale, stand on the knees. Bring the arms up over the head. As you exhale, bend your elbows out wide and let your heart come forward while still hugging your low ribs in slightly. And then inhale, lengthen the arms again. And exhale, sit back onto the knees. Onto the heels, hands to the knees. Do that again. Inhale, come into standing, arms reach over the head. Exhale, stay, bend the elbows out wide, but pull the low ribs in, pull the navel in. Inhale, reach again. Open up, lengthen the front body a little bit more, and then exhale, sit back on your heels, hands to the knees. So we're going to do that with the chant. Inhale, arms reach. Remember the meaning of Soham. Soham. Inhale the arms up. Create as much space as you can. Coming back to the knees. Soham. Again. Inhale. I am that. Soham. Soham. One more. Inhale. Sit for a minute and let those vibrations continue to move through you. Inside, we deeply know the truth of that statement. And we can let the vibration of the mantra move that awareness, move that knowledge through the nadis. Come forward into tabletop position. Again, heart lifts, sit bones lift. And now exhale, tuck the toes, and find downward facing dog. So let's bend the knee, press one heel down, and then bend the other knee and press the other heel down. And just loosen up the back of the legs a little bit, going back and forth a few times. And you can feel maybe one side's a little tighter than the other, just observing that difference. And then take the big toes to the outside edges of your mat. Press your chest towards your thighs and let your spine lengthen just a little bit more. So tailbone's going to lift, elongating the back body. Roll the shoulder heads away from the ears and hug the inner elbows toward one another. Press firmly through the web of the index and thumb. Now, as you continue to feel what we call an anterior tilt of the pelvis, so the tailbone lifting up, you might get a little more length along the back of the legs, and just observe where's the tension in the hamstrings and the calves. Send the breath all the way into those areas. Again, you can feel those nadis, those energy channels, releasing that tension, opening up, letting the blood, letting the prana flow through. Keep hugging the low ribs toward the back body on exhalation so that we're stabilizing the spine. And then we're going to walk our hands back through our legs all the way to that wide stance. And then just come into standing forward fold here. It's not quite Prasrita Padottanasana, foot spreading posture, but it's not quite standing forward fold as we normally do it. So we do have this little bit of space there. And that opening of the hips often allows a little more room for the spine to settle through the legs. You can still keep that micro bend in the knee if you need to release the backs of the legs, but feel like there's a weight attached to the crown of your head. I mean, just the head itself is enough to create some traction there for the spine. So we do want to feel that we're not sinking in the heels, that we're not coming too far forward into the balls of the feet, but we're balanced right in the center. And you might want to press a little bit more to the outside edges of the feet than you would if the legs were together. Now interlace your fingers behind your back, yoga mudra, and take the knuckles up and away from you and stretch out your shoulders. And I like to do this flossing of the shoulder blades, so pull the knuckles towards your hips and then pull them back towards the crown of the head. And do that a few times just to loosen up. Sometimes you can feel some knots in there, areas where there's been accumulation. After a few rounds, you can break some of that up. You can stay in the posture and just let the knuckles be reaching far away from you. Maybe as you stay and you breathe, each exhale relaxes you a little bit more, allowing those shoulders to release a little further. Three more breaths here. And the mantra that we were doing, Soham, meaning I am or I am that, the teaching said this is the mantra we're all born with. So is the sound of inhalation and hum is the sound of exhalation. So even if you're just listening to your breath, see if you can hear the mantra inside of it. One more. Good, and then gently bring the hands down the backs of the legs, just sliding them down, coaxing the legs to relax. And then hands down, heel toe the feet back to center, to about hip distance apart. And then bring your hands to your hips and scoop your heart forward. So you're squeezing the elbows behind you, activating the back body as you come all the way up to standing. And then you can roll the shoulders up and back a few times, just loosening any tension that might be there. And if you want to go the other direction, rolling the shoulders that way. I want to do another shoulder opener. So you're going to bend your right hand like you had a tea light candle that you were holding in it. And you're going to take the outside edge of the hand in towards the heart. So I'll think of it like an offering. You're offering that light into the heart. Then you're going to take the hand and continue to go around behind the armpit and circle over the head. So it's almost like you're making a big loop. So hand, outside edge of the hand comes into the heart, back around the armpit, and then up and over the head. Into the heart, armpit, up and over the head. I'll go sideways too if that helps. Into the heart, armpit, up and over the head. And now once you get the hang of it, start to really let the arm move at a quicker rate. But don't think too much about it. So let this be really just momentum that takes you. And this movement of the arm is really good for opening the shoulder. And we'll do just a few more rounds, hoping to lubricate that joint. And then we'll do the other side. So release that arm down. Left hand, this one's always trickier for people, especially if you're right-handed. So the outside edge of your left hand now comes into your heart. And then it goes back around the armpit and up and over the head. So into the heart, around the armpit, up and over the head. And again, I'll turn sideways if that helps. Heart, armpit, head, heart, armpit, head. And then just start to move that arm a little faster. And we're going to bring some flexibility into that joint. Good, keep going. And then if you really want to go crazy, you can bring both in at the same time, behind the armpits, over the head. Heart, armpit, head. Heart, armpit, head. And work both of those shoulders at the same time. So you might be feeling some warmth in there. This is all very good. And then once you do one more round, we'll let the arms just kind of settle. And then feel, once again, the center of the heart, that pearl of light. And just notice the nadis, the prana moving through the channels. Okay, so we're still here at the back of the mat. We're going to do pranavayu sun salutation. So the feet are just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Hands together in front of the heart. We're taking this nice and slow. So inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, you're either sinking into chair, or if you can, you're going to keep going towards squat. And then inhale, come into tabletop position. Spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So right leg steps forward to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat for warrior one. Heel to heel alignment, hips squared. Inhale as you come up. Now you're going to stay for the exhale and go just a little bit deeper into the posture, relaxing the shoulders into their socket. Inhale, straighten the front leg, contract the quad, and then exhale, press the heel away from the fingertips and lengthen all the way down over. Fingertips into finger stand. Inhale, pivot on the ball of the back foot for high lunge. Heart comes forward through the shoulders, and exhale to downward facing dog. First round, we'll modify the vinyasa. Inhale to plank position, bring the knees to the floor. Squeeze the elbows tight as the belly comes down. Tops of the feet ground. Inhale, elbows and shoulders pull back for cobra. Exhale, navel up and back for downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward through the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat. Hips are squared forward and that front knee is bent. Inhale, the arms reach. Exhale, stay. Soften the shoulders. Inhale, straighten the front leg, contract the quad, and then exhale, push the heel away from the crown as you lengthen all the way forward over the legs. Inhale, pivot, high lunge, bend the front knee, heart is forward, and exhale, downward facing dog. 5 full breaths here in down dog. As you're breathing, center your awareness in the heart and see the breath, the prana moving outward from there through those 72,000 nadis. Remember that soft ujjayi sound, even inhale, even exhale. Last 2. Okay, so on the bottom of that exhale, you're going to inhale the knees to the floor for tabletop position. Spread the collarbones wide. And then exhale, walk back to squat. So you can stay on the balls of the feet. Hands can be on prayer at the heart center. Inhale, press all the way up to standing. Elongate the front body. And then exhale, forward fold. Make sure the feet are parallel as you fold. You're going to hook the index middle thumb around your big toe. And then inhale, pull your chest away from your thighs. Straighten arms, straighten spine, and only if you can, straighten legs. Exhale, bend knees, bend elbows, relax head and neck. Inhale, lean back to chair. Stay for that exhale and sink just a little deeper into the hips. And then inhale, press into the feet. Come all the way up, arms reach. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. Or go all the way to squat if it's in your practice. Inhale to tabletop position. Spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right leg steps forward, warrior one. Spin the back foot flat, inhale as you rise. Stay for the exhale, a little bit deeper into that front knee. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, straighten. Everything is nice and strong. Squeeze those inner thighs as you lengthen over the leg, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot, high lunge, heart forward through the shoulders, and exhale, downward facing dog. So regular vinyasa, inhale to plank position. You can leave the knees lifted for chaturanga. If the knees are lifted, now you come into up dog instead of cobra, and exhale the navel up and back for downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat for warrior one, inhale as you rise. Stay for that exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg, squeeze the inner thighs toward one another, and forward fold, exhaling all the way down, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot on the ball of the back foot for high lunge, heart is forward, and exhale to downward facing dog. Ujjayi breathing. Listening for the sound of soham in the breath. When you finish your last breath, inhale your knees to the floor for tabletop position. Spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, walk back to squat. You can stay on the balls of the feet, hands to the heart center. Inhale, press all the way up to standing and elongate the front body. And then exhale, forward fold over the legs. Hook the index middle thumb around the big toe. You can bend your knees as much as you need to do that. Inhale, straighten arms, straighten spine. Only if you can, straighten legs. And then exhale, bend knees, bend elbows, relax head and neck. Inhale, lean back to chair. And then stay for that exhale by sinking just a little deeper. Inhale, come up, arms reach overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Last time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, sink into chair. Or if you can keep going, go all the way to squat. Inhale, tabletop position. Spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg forward to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat. Inhale, warrior one, arms reach. Stay for that exhale. Sink just a little deeper. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, fold. Inhale, pivot for high lunge. Heart is forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time for the vinyasa. So if you want, you can keep your feet together. Come through plank position, staying on the balls of the feet the whole time, into upward facing dog. Then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. Inhale as you rise. Exhale as you stay. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pivot, high lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog. Ujjayi breathing.
Keep that anterior tilt so tailbone is lifting up. There's that elongation in the back of the legs. Sink the navel towards the back body. And then inhale, bring the knees to the floor. Heart lifts, sit bones lift. Exhale, coming back to squat, balancing on the balls of the feet, hands to the heart center. Inhale, press up to standing. Arms reach overhead, elongate the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Hook the index middle thumb around your big toe. Inhale, pull away, straighten arms, straighten spine, only straighten legs if you can. Exhale, bend knees, bend elbows, relax head and neck. Inhale, lean back to chair. Stay for that exhale, go deeper. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. And then just be here, hands at your heart or down by your side, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Just completely relax. Feel ease in the body and in the mind. And in that relaxation, space opens up for those nadis, for energy to move through the channels. And return back to your awareness of that light, very bright, brilliant light in the center of the heart. Feel that each and every breath pushes that light, that prana, more deeply through those nadis, cleaning and clearing out anything that stands in its path, any blockages. Just being subsumed by the light. And last breath here. So we'll stay here at the back of our mats. Arms are down by the side. Inhale, the arms reach up. And then exhale, forward fold. So a little bit of monkey pose here. I prefer this monkey pose when the hands are on the backs of the thighs, because it's really nice to squeeze those elbows in and keep the back flat. As you inhale, you come halfway up, sliding the hands up the backs of the legs, and lean the heart forward so it's almost as if you're in a back bend. And then exhale, take the navel deeper into the spine and forward fold more completely over the legs as the hands slide down. So let's do that again. Inhale, squeeze the elbows back behind you. Notice how the spine flattens out, and really you can even send that heart forward a little more. Exhale, the navel towards the spine as you soften down the legs. Keep going, inhaling, exhaling. And on your exhale breath, we'll do the chant. Soham. 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 Now stay in the fold for a moment. Inhale, halfway elongating the spine, and then walk the fingers forward just into downward facing dog. Feet stay stable, grounded deeply into the earth. And then bring the feet together, come onto the balls of the feet, and reach the right leg up in the air. And exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg as high as you can. And now stack the hips. So take right hip on top of left. And if you'd like, you can bend the knee and draw the heel to the glute. Breathing deeply here. Feel that hip opening up. If you prefer to keep the leg long and that gives you better sensation, stay with that. Rotate the ankle a few rounds just to loosen up any tension that might be going in the ankle down to the toes. And then square your hip again Send the right knee into your chest and lunge the foot forward to the fingertips, coming into high lunge position. So start with your fingers in a finger stand and send the heart forward, tips of the shoulder blades down your back. So nice, stable legs. Feel the inner thighs hugging the midline. And when you're grounded, you're going to inhale, reach the arms all the way up. So coming into high lunge, or sometimes they call this crescent. Rotate the pinky fingers toward one another so that we widen the shoulders and the back body. Inhale, lift the heart just a little higher. Full breath in as the front body lengthens. And then exhale, hug the muscles of the back body towards the spine and down. Inhale, extending that front body just a little more. Exhale, pull and draw the shoulders away from the ears. So even if it's just incrementally, you're going to use the breath to create just a little more space here. Keep that back leg firm, strong and straight. Last one. And now bring the right hand down to the thigh and send this left elbow on top of the leg. Fist with the bottom hand, cup with the top, and come into a rotation. So prayer spinal twist, back leg still stays firm and strong. And see if you can feel a little lift in the pelvic floor. So creating that inner body lift. Now as you hug the navel towards the back body, rotating it a little deeper to the right, feel the heart opening as well. If this is too intense, you can always bring a knee to the floor. Gaze is steady. Three more breaths. And then fingertips to the floor. Reach that right arm all the way up in the air. Right leg all the way up in the air. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank position. Bring the knees to the floor, squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. Tops of the feet ground, inhale halfway up for cobra, opening up the heart. And then exhale, navel up and back, downward facing dog. And then feet together, balls of your feet, inhale the left leg up in the air. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left as high as you can, and now stack the hip, left over right. Those of you that want to bend the knee, draw the heel to the glute. Absorb the tailbone into the body, lift the lower belly, and keep the shoulders and the hands stable. Breathe deeply here. Notice if there's any areas that feel clogged, send the breath there, send the awareness there. Straighten that leg, maybe that's a better sensation. You can even try rotating the ankle and the toes. Then square the hip, draw the left knee into the chest, and lunge that foot forward to the fingers. Find the legs firm here. So press the shin bone away from the back heel. Squeeze the inner thighs toward the midline. Breathe deeply. And then when you're firm through those inner thighs, slowly press into the feet and bring the arms up over the head. Shoulders relax down the back. So working with the breath, elongate the front body, full breath in. Exhale, hug the muscles of the back body towards the spine and down. Again, inhale, front body lengthens. You may not see anything, but you're going to feel it. Exhale, shoulders down the back. Keep going with your breath. Incrementally, just getting a little more space each time. Back leg is firm. Remember, so hum. Now, left hand comes down to the thigh. Bring the right elbow over. Prayer spinal twist. You can make a fist with your bottom hand, cup with your top, or hands in prayer. And feel that you're lifting up from the pelvic floor. So get that inner body lift.
Legs stay strong here. Breathe deeply. Gaze is steady. Mind is steady. Make sure the breath is flowing. We want those energy channels to be filled with prana. And then bring the fingertips to the floor. Inhale that left leg all the way up in the air. Just let the blood drain out for a moment. And then downward facing dog. Okay, plank position. Bring the knees to the floor. Keep them lifted for chaturanga. Inhale into up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Walk the hands slowly back to the feet at the back of the mat. Hang for a moment in standing forward fold. And then inhale, hands to hips, squeeze and scoop the heart up as you come back to standing. And then just rotate for a moment, shoulders up and back, and then find Samastiti, standing mountain pose. And just observe, notice how you feel. Very nice. So at the back of the mat still, you're just going to turn your right toes out to a slight angle and step the left foot forward to a comfortable distance. Make that stance a little bit longer than what you would for pyramid pose, but slightly shorter than what you typically would do for warrior one. So we're going to kind of move in between pyramid and warrior one. Bring the arms forward, palms face one another. Bend into your front knee and open your arms out wide. And feel the heart pull forward, all that space there, back bend coming into the body. Now, navel hugs the back body as it begins to straighten the leg and the hands close. So everything hugs in. And then again, you're opening and widening everything up again on inhale. Bending the front knee, arms expand. Exhale, hug the navel in toward the back body, straighten the leg, and squeeze the arm. So we're going to do that with the chant. Inhale, bend the knee. Full breath in, opening nice and wide. And exhale. So hum. Inhale. Get as much space as you can. So hum. Again. So hum. Inhale, and we're going to stay. So arms nice and wide. Breathe deeply here. You're going to turn the palms behind you, interlace your fingers, and now pull the knuckles in yoga mudra down the back of the leg, letting the heart open. Gaze can turn up. Do not collapse the back of the neck. Forward fold on the inside of that left leg. And let the head and neck relax here. Knuckles can reach as far away from you as possible. Breathe deeply. Humble warrior. Head and neck is relaxed. Keep that left hip pulling in so it doesn't pop open to the side. And then once again, you're going to scoop your arms through. This time they're going to come forward in alignment with your ears. Press deeply into the legs. Come up for warrior one. So there's that back bend for just a moment. And then exhale, straighten the front legs. Bring the arms down and step back to the back of your mat. Feet parallel, arms by your side, and just take that in for a moment. Feel energy moving through those channels in the body. Okay, toes out on the left foot, stepping the right foot forward to a comfortable distance, hips are squared. And again, you're going to go a little longer than pyramid, a little shorter than warrior one. Bring the palms out in front of you to touch. Bend into your front knee. Open the arms out wide as you inhale. Taking all that prana in from the heart through the fingertips. Now exhale, squeeze like you're closing a door. Squeeze everything in, palms touch. Do it again one more time without the chant. Inhale. Full breath into the heart there. Exhale. Everything hugging that midline, creating stability. Good. Inhale. With the chant. So hum. So hum. Again. So hum. Now inhale. Stay in the posture. And then turn the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Yoga mudra down the back of the leg. Open up the heart. You can take the gaze up. Feel that opening in the upper back. And then lean forward into that front leg. Let the knuckles reach up behind you. Head and neck is relaxed. Watch the tendency for the right hip to pop open. Squeeze it into the midline. Challenge that front knee. Stay in alignment with the ankle, but not beyond it. Breathe deeply here. Humble warrior, remember the meaning of the mantra. And then slowly release the arms. You're going to bring them forward in alignment with the ears. Press down deeply into the feet. Front knee stays bent. Move back into warrior one. And then release the arms, straighten the front leg. And then step the front leg back. Standing mountain pose at the back of your mat again. Breathe here. Just observe. Maybe feel some pulsation of energy through the arms into the feet. Then we're going to take a vinyasa to the floor. So you're still at the back of your mat here. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold navel to spine. Inhale to monkey pose. And then exhale, walk forward into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to shift forward into plank position. Bring the knees to the floor. Lift the toes behind you. Squeeze the elbows tight for chaturanga. Tops of the feet are going to ground. Inhale, halfway up for cobra. Exhale, come down, but turn your cheek to the left side. Good. Inhale up for cobra again. Push pubic bone, knees, tops of the feet into the floor. Exhale, turn your cheek to the other side. Inhale for cobra again. Keep squeezing those elbows behind you, letting the chest come forward. Exhale and come down. Now, as you continue to do this, maybe one time take your hands off the floor. See if it's the same height. Notice what it's like to really use the muscles instead of just the arms. Exhaling down. Inhale. Exhale. Then keep the hands on the floor lightly and continue to use the back muscles more as you inhale. Good. 2 more to each cheek. Breath moves you. Even inhale, even exhale. Last complete round. 1 more on the left cheek, 1 more on the right cheek.
And then we'll inhale up. Last time, turn your cheek to the left and relax your arms down by your side. And just let everything soften here. Shoulders can round, glutes can relax, feet and legs relax. And turn your cheek to the other side. Relax here. And then we're going to come into a little bit of a deeper back bend here. So bending the knees behind you. Fingertips are going to grab the tops of the ankles. And then to the best of your ability, bring your big toes to touch and your legs together. So on your inhale, I'm going to say it first, then we'll do it. On your inhale, you're going to push into the pubic bone, and everything that can lift up off the earth will. And then we're going to stay for 5 full breaths on each exhale, chanting Soham. So again, it's very helpful to remember the meaning as you chant. So begin to flex your feet, and on your next inhale, rise up into bow. Now exhale, Soham. Inhale a little higher. Soham. Keep pushing the feet into the back wall. Soham. Last 2, remember the meaning. Soham. Soham. Inhale as high as you can. And then exhale and come down to rest. Turn your cheek to one side. And turn your cheek to the other side. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders. First, come into tabletop position. So just stabilize there for a moment. We're going to be very gentle with the spine after such a deep back bend. And then bring the knees together and sit tall on the heels. Absorb the tailbone into the body and lift the lower belly. Rest the hands comfortably in the lap. Take a moment to just feel. Tapping into that light again in the center of the heart. Maybe a little brighter. Maybe the body's a little warmer. Its energy is flowing freely through it. We're going to move into a forward fold. And so if you have a blanket nearby, this might be helpful to have. It's sort of an awkward forward fold. What you're going to do is you're going to take the left ankle, we'll start on the left side. Left ankle goes to the outside of the hip. And you can even grab the calf muscle and rotate it slightly out to the side. So you're sort of splitting that muscle in half as you sit down. So with that ankle to the outside of the hip, now right leg's going to come forward. So if we find here that the hip is way up in the air, many of us have an imbalance in that sacrum, then you're going to bring a blanket underneath it just so that you feel level in the hips. And flex your right foot. So unlike some of the other forward folds where we're going completely down, today, because of our back bending practice, we're going to keep the spine pretty straight. So inhale, the arms reach up over the head, create that length first, and then exhale, you're going to lean forward. It doesn't matter where your hands go. So if it's just shin or calf, that's perfectly fine. If you're able to reach the ankle, that's great. Or even the toes, that's fine too. We're going to keep the spine upright here. And as you inhale, lift the heart just a little bit higher. And now exhale, lean forward, but don't collapse the back of the heart. So how much can you bend forward into the posture, letting the elbows maybe bend out wide a little bit more. Keep the neck neutral, so neck, torso, tailbone in a straight line. And you can keep going a little deeper into the posture if the body gives you permission. And the key here is to not round the upper back, but rather send the sternum further away from the pubic bone. I like to let that breath go all the way down toward the pelvic floor, and just the pressure of the breath will push the hips a little further away. Keep the right foot flexed. Don't let that grow soft. Leg is firm. 2 more breaths. Listen for Soham. Last one. And then slowly pad your fingers back into the floor. Come back up into that tall spine for a moment. Eyes can be closed. Mind is internal. And then we'll release the blanket and we'll do the other side. So left leg comes out, right knee bends. We're going to take that foot to the outside of the hip. If you'd like, you can split that calf muscle in half with your hand, rotating it outward. And if the left hip is up in the air, grab something you can stick underneath it so that you can keep the hips level. Flex your left foot. And again here, find that tall spine as you inhale the arms up. We want to keep the spine long as you exhale and fold, and it doesn't matter where your hands land. That can be shin, ankle, maybe toes. Sometimes it's nice just to have the hands on the floor, so you decide what's right for you. Flex the left foot, breathe here. Inhale the spine long. Exhale, melt a little deeper into the pose. So really do think of that head, neck, torso, tailbone in a straight line. Breath is sent down into the pelvis. And then just let your mind listen for Soham. It's already there. So inhalation, hum exhalation. And then slowly come out of it. Pad the hands into the floor. Take your time. Sit tall for just a moment. Notice the internalization. And then you can release the blanket. We'll bring both legs forward into Dandasana, staff pose, hands beside the hips. Flex both feet, just sit tall. And we're going to come onto our backs here for a few closing postures before Shavasana. But if you would like to put your socks and sweaters on, if the room is cool, now would be a good time to do that. And we do want to stay warm for the relaxation technique that we're going to do at the end of the practice today. So if you do have a blanket or something that you can cover over your body just to keep that temperature in, that would be great. Come onto your back and just allow the knees to bend, feet flat. Arms down by your side for just a moment. As you exhale, hug your knees into your chest and inhale the legs straight up in the air. And
And then exhale the knees to the chest. And inhale the legs straight up in the air. If you like, you can add arms, exhaling knees to chest. Inhale, legs extend, arms extend over the head. Exhale, the arms come down, knees to chest. Inhale, arms extend, legs extend. A couple more here just to feel some releasing there for the lower back. One more. Inhale. Good. Now keeping the knees hugging into the chest, we'll just take them over to the left as you look to your right. You can hold on to the knees with the hand. Let the right arm open out into a half T and gaze over the middle finger of the right. Head and neck is relaxed here. Keep relaxing the belly button. As you settle the body, feel that effortless twist. And then come back to center and keep the knees close to the chest. Bringing them now over to the right side. You're going to hold it with the hand there and let the left arm open up. Gaze over the left shoulder. Surrender the belly button. Breathe here. And then gently bring the knees back to center. One last little hug here. We're going to actually take this legs straight, legs together, feet together, and tuck the thumbs underneath the hips. Squeeze the arms as close to the body as possible. Spread the hands wide. Reach out through the balls of the feet and spread the toes. Bend the elbows down into the mat and puff up the chest. Let the crown of the head rest on the earth for fish pose. And now as many deep breaths as you can get right there in the heart. See that final light in the heart spreading outward all the way through the body. Just think of this as a nice bath there for all those nadis. Letting the heart reign supreme. And then lift the head, relax the body into the mat, spread the legs out wide, palms face up, and tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. If you have that blanket, put the blanket over the body. Make sure that you feel warm and comfortable. We'll do 61-point relaxation. If you have an eye pillow, you can place it over your eyes, resting that underneath that blanket. Any comfort that you need to be stable here. Those feet are wider than hip distance, arms by the side, shoulder blades are tucked underneath you. And just take a few minutes to settle the breath and settle the body into this space. So if you again feel the heaviness of the body, gravity pulling on the skin as it softens, the muscles, even the bones. Relinquish all control of the breath and just let it float in and out at its own pace. Continue to relax more deeply through the body and maybe even begin to observe where the mind might be holding the body in certain patterns often particularly in the back of the neck or shoulders, but other areas too. And relax the face, relax the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, let the lips part slightly. Continue that relaxation through the whole body, so down through the shoulders and arms and hands and fingers. Relaxation through the chest and the back body, the navel, the internal organs. Relax through the hips, the legs, the feet, the toes. And in a few moments, we're going to begin to move prana through the body. And I'll call out various points. And as I do, if you can visualize a singular point of light in that area, almost like a star in the night sky. And we'll be moving those points through the body, so don't worry about getting as clear of an image as possible. Just do your best to bring your attention into these locations. And we'll start at the third eye, space between the eyebrows, point of light. See a point of light at the center of the throat. Point of light in the center of the right shoulder. Moving down to the right elbow. See a point of light arising from the darkness. Point of light in the center of the right wrist. Point of light at the tip of the right thumb. Tip of the index. Tip of the middle finger. Fourth finger, point of light. Tip of the fifth finger. Another point of light back at the center of the right wrist. Center of the right elbow. Right shoulder, relax. Point of light in the center of the throat. Center of the left shoulder. Point of light in the center of the left elbow. Left wrist. Tip of the left thumb. Tip of the index. The middle finger. Fourth finger. Tip of the pinky. Center of the left wrist. Center of the left elbow. Left shoulder. Center of the throat. Center of the heart. Center of the left chest. Center of the heart again. Point of light in the center of the right chest. Center of the heart. Navel center. Point of light in the center of the pubic bone. Center of the right hip. Right knee. Relax. Right ankle. Tip of the right big toe. Second toe. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Center the right ankle. Right knee. Right hip. Pubic bone. Left hip. Left knee. Point of light in the left ankle. Tip of the left big toe. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Center of the left ankle. Left knee. Left hip, relax. Pubic bone. Navel center. Heart center. Throat center. Third eye center. In your mind's eye, see all points of light illuminated throughout the whole body. All of these points of light like a star in the night sky or constellation. Now slowly let your breath draw deeper into the body. You can see and feel those 72,000 nadis, energy channels, emanating from the heart. Clean and clear and full of prana. And then as the breath brings you back, just start to move the thumb across the fingertips. And just wiggle the toes and roll the wrists, roll the ankles. And without rushing, you can very gently draw your knees back in towards your chest. And just curl into fetal position on your right side, arm under the head as a pillow. And placing the left hand into the earth, just slowly come back up into seated. Keep the head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. And then find that Sukhasana, easy pose, cross-legged position. And the tall spine, relaxed body. Hands can rest comfortably on the knees. Palms face up. So let's take a moment to bring the hands back together in front of the heart and let the thumbs touch the sternum. And recall the light in the center of the heart, the embodiment of Soham, I am. And we'll just end the practice with a chant of Om Soham, Soham, Soham. Deep inhale in. Om. so hum, so hum, so hum. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you, and I appreciate these practices, and I really like to continue to offer them to as many people as possible. So like this video, share it with friends, subscribe, and in the description below is a link to our Patreon account. Please consider offering whatever is available to you to keep these classes coming, keep them free online. These kinds of practice really are the antidote to today's world. So I thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Namaste.